out here at the Fayetteville, Arkansas Regionals. Whoa, welcome back to the channel, Michael. How are you, man? What you do today?
I got second place at the Arkansas Regionals, so 2 top 8s back to back.
Same deck?
Different deck, actually.
Different deck?
I played Marincess.
Marincess? My goodness. What made you decide to use this deck for this event?
I just wanted to switch decks after like talking with the deck.
Okay, that's pretty strategic too, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of decks I can play, so I just want to like try out and challenge myself.
Okay, before we see your second place goo, any shoutouts?
Yeah, shoutouts to my family, shoutouts to my friends, and that's about it.
Okay, sweet. Please show us your second place goo.
All right, I'm gonna go over it real fast, but I'll explain more in detail afterwards. So in the main deck, 3 Blue Tang, 3 Pascalist. This plays through Book of Moon. 3 Spring Girl. 3 Seahorse. 2 Mandarin. Basil. Sleepy Maiden. These 2 one-ofs, the utility does come up, so that's why I chose to play them. So that's all for the monsters. Then for the Marincess spell and trap, 2 field spell, 2 dive, 3 wave. The 3 wave is for D-Shifter. In the Battle Oceans, you need to play 2 in order to start grinding. The grind is like the best part of the deck, and we play Desires, so you don't want to banish all of them. And like mentioned earlier, we play 2 Desires and 2 Prosperities because pots are broken. I'll get more into this later. For the staples, we have 3 Ash, 3 Emperor, 2 Valor, generic, 2 Nibiru, 3 books.
Oh my, best card.
Hand traps are really good, and we just have to play book for Kashtira.
Okay.
On to the extra deck. We play 2 Slug, 2 Angel, 2 Coral Anemone, 1 Crystal Heart, 1 Triangle, 1 Marble Rock, 1 Argonaut, 1 Bubble Reef, pretty standard. 1 Zelantis. I know people are playing 2. I appreciate the enthusiasm, but it's never coming up. And the extra deck is tight. Everything does come up. So there are a lot of extra cards that are just like utility, but the utility are essential if the situation comes up. But if the situation doesn't come up, you don't use it, but you still have to play it for the utility, and that's why I play Prosp. Because even though you don't want to banish with Prosp, depending on the game state, you sort of know what extra cards you're going to go into. And sometimes, like when you're losing, you're pretty much never going to your extra deck. So to save your life, you might have to Prosp 6. It's just what you have to do. So it depends on the game state. 1 Toad and the Vomit Shark. This is just to maximize the end board for efficiency. And the Stealth Kragan. This is for Kashtira and D-Shifter. I'll explain more later. But on to the side deck. 2 Bell, 2 Ogre, just good hand traps. Best card in the side, although it didn't come up too much today, is the side frames. 2 Skullmeisters for Unchained. I lost them in the finals, but like this card, he had to tactics to hand rip it away, so the card is like a threat. 3 Cosmic and Harpies. Now for the in-depth. So this deck can win against Cash going second. I'm not trying to dodge matchups. It can win against Cash. So against Cash, the big problem is D-Shifter, right?
Yeah.
So against D-Shifter, you want to basically just max out on your answers to Shifter. All of these cards can be used against Shifter, and plus Ash and Imperm. If they Shifter you, you can set books, you can set Cosmics post side, you can use Pascalist to overlay into this to pop, and Wave is at 3 because if they Shifter you, you can just make the link 1, search spell, set Wave, and just survive and outlast the Shifter. So this deck is built to beat Shifter. I wasn't the biggest fan of Cosmic, but the card is better than other cards like Lightning Storm because you can use it going first, especially against Cash or Shifter. You have to play this because Marincess will lose to random things such as Necro Valley or even like Darkest Diablos. Tikaboo is also just game over. Marincess has no in-engine outs to Floodgates, so you have to play Floodgate outs, unlike the other decks I've played. Overall, this deck has been blessed by the simulator. The simulator is greater than I. What is the simulator? Well, you make 2 DB accounts, split window. On one side is the first place YESSSS Kashtira list, The other side is my deck. And you just play both sides, lose for 6 hours straight until you figure it out.
Oh my goodness.
Test conditions, you always lose the die roll. You always side every copy of Nibiru you have. If you open Nibiru, they will play around Nibiru. If you don't open Nibiru, they won't play around Nibiru, Nick Stronger era. You have to win the best of 3 to pass the test. This deck has passed the simulator. It has been blessed. Yeah, I haven't been playing this deck for like half a year. I've played the deck before, so I know the combos and like how to pilot. But last week I top was EXO, and I basically spent like half a week building this deck, adjusting to its current format. It was a mess. I like literally this like yesterday Friday, I posted to the Discord like, this is the list. It passed the simulator. Everything is correct, and I want to die. But yeah, that's the list.
What was your only loss in Split?
My only loss is the last round to Unchained. I got pretty unlucky in that matchup. Lost the die roll. So game 1, I didn't open going second cards, so I lost. Game 2, I went first. Well, game 1, I opened 3 pots. I activated Desires, drew into the 4th. That's just bad RNG. The math checks out throughout the whole event, except for that round. And then game 2, I activate Pot of Desires. I banished all of my field spells, and I banished Maiden. So I have no way of equipping anything to Argonaut. And he ashed the Desires, so when I activate Prosp, I had to banish the Argonaut because I couldn't summon at all. It went into like a grind, like 6 or 8 turns, and like I lost because like I can't grind without the field spell.
Do you think it's worth bumping it up to 3 or just cutting the Desires entirely?
Well, you don't want to open the field spell. Because the field spell is only good if your combo is successful, right? If they like Book of Moon or anything, then like field spell doesn't do anything in hand. But the chances of opening the field spell because of that 2 versus that 1 is negligible compared to how important it is in the grind. But 3 is probably not justifiable. 2 field spell, 2 dive is also a good ratio, because if you open the field spell, you can just search dive, and dive can summon from death. And having that will make it easier to get to the ring 4. But yeah, that is the deck.
Sweet. Well, hey man, congrats on making top 8, making it to the finals, top 4, 2nd place. My goodness.
And one last thing.
Yeah.
Power shuffling is not allowed in MTG. All right, bye.
All right. Well, there you go. Thanks again, Mike. Hold on.